stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, pick a side, just pick a side, stupid.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pick a Side Stupid, the comedy debate show that once took place live on stage in Boston and now takes place all over the world with mostly Boston comics. I am your host tonight, Nick Martucci, here being the real dumb of the group as we debate tonight genius. We have real high IQ comics on the show tonight that I'm sure will share their genius with us. We have some real fun categories coming up. We have man, we have woman, we have person, we have TV, and we have camera, and we have wild card. And these categories, I think, are sort of hard to remember all of them in that order. Not everyone can do it. You got to be real smart to do it. I think our contestants can figure it out tonight. Let's bring some of our friends in. First up, Tyler Durniac. Hey,
Hey,
Tyler.
how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, hanging in there.
Feeling pretty smart tonight?
Feeling smart. I'm here with my fellow geniuses. We're all ready. We've got a little team going. You will have to book an appointment, but outside of that, it's all good.
Awesome. And I consider you a pretty smart guy. Uh, do you have any specific areas that you're like a genius at?
I'm I have a very specific. I'm pretty solid with some history and some international relations stuff. I passed the foreign service officers exam and then didn't go any further because of how this administration turned out. And boy, am I glad I didn't go further because that would be a nightmare right now.
Yeah, we definitely can't use anybody who knows anything about history right now.
I just didn't want to get bullied by the other diplomats.
That's why I don't get into politics.
Like they would have given me wedgies at the embassy, something like that. And you know, diplomatic immunity does not cover wet willies. It's a really brutal world.
All right, we're gonna talk to Tyler a little later. Also on the show tonight, we have a second Tyler Tuttle.
Hello.
Hello, Tyler. You got a couple of friends behind you.
I do. This is the film poster for the film IQ, starring Walter Thau as Albert Einstein, who desperately tries to have Tim Robbins have sex with his niece, Meg Ryan. It's a wonderful little film from the year 1992, and I'm just trying to raise awareness.
Classic movie promoter Tyler Tuttle.
It's a classic movie.
What do you think? Is he your favorite genius, or do you have a favorite genius?
I think Albert Einstein is my favorite genius because in the movie IQ, there's a scene where he yells "Wahoo" while riding a motorbike that is truly magical. If you've never heard a genius go "Wahoo" like Mario, it's truly something to behold.
I mean, Mario is my favorite genius.
He's pretty smart.
He's
He
a
figured
plumber
out
and a hero, and like pretty good for an Italian.
if I connect a bunch of pipes, they're not going to travel through dimensions. I know that. Sit on you, Mario.
He figured out quantum mechanics.
Yeah, that's smart as hell.
Classic. All right. Also on the show tonight, we have Emily Mame Ford.
Hello. What's going
Hello.
on?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You got
Living the
some
dream.
fun stuff behind you.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at Tetris. I mean, that's one reason I'm a nerd, but there's a lot of other reasons as well.
Name three.
I am a software engineer. I play a lot of games. I still play Pokemon Go. Actually, it's pretty embarrassing, but
Same.
it's a great time. I love it. I love it. And I actually love math. I've been trying to convince Sean to do a math show for the entire time I've been on Pick a Side. But I think he probably like it's like, all right, we'll do genius and go in the middle.
It's close enough.
But yeah.
Yeah, so enough stuff that you're smarter than most of us. If not all of us. I haven't taken a poll.
That ah.
I can't develop software or do Tetris.
I mean, they're pretty fun. I could teach you. I also tutored in college if you're interested.
You tutor Tetris?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Also joining us on the show tonight is Dennis Bruno.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
You're a little low. I can't really hear you.
Oh, okay. How about now?
Oh, now I can hear you. Perfect.
Excellent.
You're
Okay.
a problem solver.
Mm-hmm. That's part of why I'm on the panel tonight. I'm a genius at solving problems.
That's a really good skill for a genius to have. Do you, what else makes you smarter than me?
I got an encyclopedic knowledge of professional wrestling.
Yeah, that beats me.
Mm. When grown men and women start fighting in their underpants, I'm your man.
And where are you right now? The horse track?
Yeah, I'm placing a few wuss bets. Me and Hans Moleman.
Fun. You should bet on this show.
I will. You can't stop me.
No, I can you bet on yourself? You're gonna throw the show tonight, aren't you?
If Pete Rose taught me anything, it's that I'm gonna go down in history.
Pick a side, stupid idol Pete Rose.
Barred from the Hall of Fame.
Unfairly. Talk about a genius. He figured it out.
Yeah, Petey Hustle.
All right. We're gonna talk to you more later. Also joining us tonight is Jared Palapol.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You got a friend with you.
Yeah, I got Ray Charles, the genius, watching over me.
He is in my top 3 favorite blind piano players.
Yep. I mean, he should be, for sure.
Real high
I'm
up there.
very tired by the end of the show, but he's, keeping me in check.
What do you think? Is that your favorite genius? Do you have a favorite genius?
Well, my favorite genius is currently running for president and thinks that slavery was a choice. So, yes, Ray Charles is my favorite genius right now.
I mean, he will go down in history as one of the greatest minds of our generation, I think.
Yeah.
Ray Charles, I mean.
Yeah. I calling him our generation is a stretch, but
it's he's the world's generation.
That's true. Once you're dead, you're every generation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it works. I'm not great with time, but I think I would consider him my generation, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Fun. Also joining us, real smart guy, Wayne Maston.
How's it going, Nick?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Now I know you know a lot about a lot. What do you think is if you were to put it down to one category where you're an expert, where do you think you fall?
Probably in philosophy, and which is a cool thing because philosophy, to do it well, you need to know a lot about a lot.
I mean, I also can be pretty philosophical, but I know nothing, and I think that's my philosophy. You have to ask why. One of the Greeks taught us that.
Mhm. I think, the best part, the genius of philosophy is that the questions are eternal.
I think so. I still haven't figured much out yet. Okay.
Yeah, so I was gonna just say, maybe we'll get platonic on the show tonight.
I don't. I love you, Wayne. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can keep my feelings in check long enough. Or you mean the other platonic?
Yeah, the other platonic.
Okay. So my love still stands.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a couple more debaters on the show tonight that will be joining us shortly. I assume. I think that they're real great people, and I can't wait to see them, and I can't wait to introduce them to you. And I'm definitely not stalling for time. I think I can talk for a while. Like I said, kind of a dummy in my own ways. Yeah, like the other day, I opened up my freezer and grabbed a carton of ice cream, and on it had fun facts. And I'm like, I love fun facts. This is going to be great. And the first thing I saw was 320 calories. And I thought that's not a fun fact. It turns out I was looking at nutrition facts. So that's sort of where I am right now. And I had ice cream, so it sort of made it all right, I think. It ice cream makes most things better. Um, I think. I think a lot of things. You know who else thinks a lot of things? Is another debater we have on the show tonight, David Thomas. Yeah, I'm bringing you in right now.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. I'm feeling intelligent. I'm feeling really informed.
Awesome.
Very capable in all things.
I think that'll do you well tonight.
Thanks.
Do
Appreciate
you
it.
you genius in any one subject? Are you expert in anything?
I would say I'm an expert in uh, fighting games, and really, it takes a keen mind to nail Ryu's combos in Street Fighter 2, and I think that I'm more than adept at that.
Who's your character? Who do you go with?
T-Hawk, a giant man grabs him by the face, slams him down. I'm gonna say T-Hawk.
That's that's how you know that you know how to do the combos.
Yeah,
I would just always play E Honda and just mash that B button until I was unbeatable.
that's a combo in itself. But yeah, I think that's more than evidence enough of my sheer intellect.
I think so.
Yes.
Gamers are some of the smartest people, is what I've found being on the internet.
Yeah, all of them.
Real,
Yeah.
real high IQ folks.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, every single one.
I mean, that's why That's why I think the world is intimidated by gamers. We can't let them rise up.
Don't them any power at all. Like for more reason than one.
I mean, we gave Elon Musk power, and I think that's enough.
I mean, he's just an angry gamer, right?
I mean, what gamer isn't angry?
I know I am. So
Do you think that he sheds a musketeer?
Mm.
probably.
that deserved more. I'm sorry for staying
No,
silent on that.
It didn't.
No, that was
actually.
great.
This is a part of the problem.
All right. I'm not sure. Should we get the show started, or should we wait for less? That sounds good to me. I don't know if anybody else heard that. Sort of the voice of God coming down, leading us through this show. I think we're gonna get this show started. I think everybody playing knows how the rules go. If you don't, we're gonna bring up two people at a time. We're gonna ask a this or that kind of question. Each debater's gonna have a minute to prove their point. First person to pick their side. Second person gets to win. Uh, After the first debate, each person has a 30-second rebuttal, and we're gonna do a few of those tonight. Um, what else? Anything? The winner moves on to the next bracket of the tournament, and the loser goes home with nothing. I think that's safe to say. The winner also we're all home, so whatever you're home with is what you win. It's a sense of pride. It's a sense of good feelings. I think I've stalled long enough. Let's start this game up with our first two debaters, Tyler Durniac and Dennis Bruno. Hey.
Whoa.
All right. Tyler, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
You'll go second. All right, Dennis, you get to pick the category. Do you remember them in order? That's okay if you don't.
I do, but I'd rather have you surprise me. Feeling confident.
All right. You have to pick from man, woman, person, camera, TV, or wild card.
I'm gonna say person.
Person. All right. First up in the debates, Ken Green writes, quote, I have frequently been questioned, especially by women, of how I could reconcile family life with a scientific career. Well, it has not been easy. Who said this? Marie Curie or Albert Einstein?
I believe that it was Madame Marie Curie, the scientist responsible for trailblazing cancer research. She was not only one of the geniuses of her time, but she balanced home life, she balanced a massive intellect along with radioactive isotopes. And if you're able to do that and die like a hero, as she did from radiation poisoning, then I think that makes you of a genius, but also an inspiration. And I think that there's genius in a life well lived, not only becoming a legend in the scientific community, but also as somebody who became a renowned expert in the field of radiology.
Okay, time. Tyler.
I have entirely forgotten the quote, but I'm going to assume the quote was "Shut up and slam" and "Welcome to the Jam" by Albert Einstein, the inventor of Space Jam and the theory of dunking. It just shows how much of a genius Albert Einstein was. Not only did he invent the nuclear bomb and stop World War II, but he invented basketball, animation, and Jordan. He fathered Michael Jordan. It was a very weird temporal loop thing, but it's just how geniuses interact. Um, I'm pretty sure there was talk about balancing in the quote, and that's you got to balance the basketball on your finger when you spin it. That's another thing that Einstein invented. He's really just the greatest genius. So the quote belongs to him, as do all quotes. Albert Einstein invented every word in the English language.
And time. Okay, Dennis, rebuttal.
I believe it was Einstein who said, I only know a dozen words and I've just said them. So I'm pretty sure that shoots a hole in that last point there. So I'm pretty confident that it was Marie Curie who had said the quote, and Ken Green is a man of integrity. I don't think you'd lie about this.
All right. Tyler.
Well, you see, he may have sounded like he only knew a dozen words, but that's because each word, depending on the order he put it in, is an elaborate code. He only used those 12 words and just would mix them up, and it would just mean different things. And he'd be like, this is dozen words I know, and that would be the entire theory of relativity. That's how it works. That's how Einstein figured everything out. That he saved so much time by only saying 12 words that meant more words, that this
Time.
code.
All right, everybody watch. I forgot to mention this earlier. This is your time to come in. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Patreon, go into the comments right now. You'll find a link. You get to vote who you think won this debate. Is it Dennis or is it Tyler? And well, we're waiting for those votes to come in. Now seems like a perfect time. And I lied to her seconds ago, but you don't know that. She's gonna know that now. We're gonna bring in our last debater, Hal Griffin. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I don't know how to read. Apparently. I don't know how to read numbers or times. What's up?
That's fun. No,
Yeah,
it's,
I feel like it's very appropriate for a debate show about genius.
we're all geniuses in our own way.
Thanks.
We're all good with something. Is there an area that you think you excel at more than?
When I was 17, I got a 2220 on my SATs, and it's all been downhill since then. It was the one smart thing I ever did in my entire life, and I've never been able to match it in my adulthood.
I mean, that's fine. Like that's the one thing you have a record of, a number you can show people. That's all that really matters, I think.
Yeah. I was a genius at taking the SATs once and nothing else ever since.
That's one more time than I took them. So already smarter. I mean, I probably scored a 220. I'm not gonna say whether or not I could. I didn't take them. So who's to say? This is sort of up in the air. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear you debating a little later. I forget what the order is, so you might be on next. It's this sort of suspense that keeps the game fun, I think. All right. I'm gonna do a few more seconds on that vote, and results are in. The winner of that debate is Tyler Durniac. It shows on the show facts do not matter. that famous Albert Einstein quote. I think Marie Curie said it first, but Albert Einstein welcomed us to the jam. So I think that's they're both geniuses. So Tyler's going to move on to the next round, and we're going to bring up two more debaters. Please welcome Tyler Tuttle and Jared Palapol. Okay, Tyler, would you like to go first or second?
I would like to go second, please, Nick.
Second. Okay, Jer, you can choose for man, woman, camera, TV, or I've been totally wrong and there is no wild card, so please don't pick that.
Okay. I'm going with TV.
TV. Ken Green asks, which discovery would you have liked to see live as it happens on TV? Fire or the wheel?
Oh, I would love to see the wheel, because I imagine just being there for the first time that they roll that thing around and they figure out that they can put a thing on it, and then you can just roll it around. Maybe they can pop a wheelie. I don't know. I guess you would need two wheels for that, but it can't be that hard to make two wheels. I've looked at the data, and it's just round, so you just roll it around and then hope that it does good. Fire, that's dangerous. I wouldn't want to be there. I'm sure the first person who discovered fire got burned, and that doesn't make for good TV. That's scary TV, and I don't want that to happen to me. So that's why I'm going with the wheel. Even if let's say somebody got run over with the first wheel, no harm, no foul. It's probably a very light vehicle.
Okay. Tyler.
I am a man who loves America's Funniest Home Videos. Imagine this. Tom Bergeron walks onto the stage confidently. On the screen, a dumb fucking caveman. He just lit some fire. He doesn't know it's hot, so he sticks his goddamn hand in. It's hilarious. Imagine the trial and error that goes into fire making. That is compelling television. You know what isn't compelling? Just rolling around in circles. That's some Teletubby bullshit. I want Tom Bergeron, Bob Saget showing me clips of fire making cavemen hitting each other in the nuts by accident while rubbing sticks together. Because that is what the television watching audience craves. Physical comedy. Thank you.
All right. Jer.
You telling me fire isn't good TV? Let me tell you who's never had a TV show. Fire. You know who gets who gets TV shows? Firefighters. They don't show the fires. You don't see fucking fire being credited as being something Dennis Leary played. No, you know who did get a TV show? Crash Test Dummies, because of wheels. They took those wheels and they hit things, and then they got hurt, and then they were just dummies, so they didn't really get hurt. And that's good TV that no one remembers. but I
Time.
do.
All right. One, crash test dummies are an accessory to wheels. You have to add shit to wheels to make them interesting. Fire is just interesting on its own. Two, I never watched Rescue Me, but I assume Dennis Leary was killed by a fire at some point. So I'm going to work off point. And fire eventually wins in the end. Thank you.
All right. Excellent points all around. Now head to the link. Who do you think won that debate? Was it Jared Palapol or Tyler Tuttle? And while we do that, we named a couple of shows. Is there any other shows starring either a wheel or fire that you think goes down as one of the greats?
There's
This is
literally a movie called Wheel. It's about a wheel that kills people.
It's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Rubber.
You're right. I forgot.
I like that
Going off
movie.
It's a
Dumb.
great, what is it, Robert the Tire?
Just give, and then there's the audience watch. A great feature film. So I'm
Yo.
glad that wasn't brought up in the debate because that would have just crushed me.
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, yeah.
See, I was waiting for Wheel of Fortune.
That wheel's bullshit.
They-
They haven't changed the prices since like 1988.
Portrait of a wheel on fire.
Yeah.
It's crazy that yeah.
I was just surprised no one brought up that like when it's Christmas time, they have the one TV channel that's just the fire. Like that's the best
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show.
How about Amazon Fire?
Yeah,
Too
that's
real.
the
Yeah, that is also a great TV fire.
I love
Jeff
to watch,
Bezos. Let's
watch
give
that
him.
stuff, you know.
What I love is combining the Amazon and fire.
Oh no.
Throwing Amazon in.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, okay,
Burn it down.
the results are in. It was close. The winner of this debate is Tyler Tuttle. Okay, next up, we have Hal Griffin and Wayne Maston.
Ooh.
Hal, would you like to go first or second?
Second, please.
Second. Okay, Wayne, you can choose between man, woman, or camera.
Well, I could never possibly choose between a man or a woman, so I'm gonna have to go with camera.
Honestly, same. All right, from camera, Steve Albert writes, would you rather get your overhead footage from a drone or a hawk?
I think I'd rather get it from a hawk. I mean, think about it. Think about the name of a drone. There's no adventure, there's no excitement, there's nothing. It's just a drone. You drone on and on and on and on. I mean, the reason you're getting aerial footage is because you want some action, you want some adventure, you want some excitement. Does a hawk convey that to you? It certainly does. And its flight path is definitely going to make that happen for you too. It's whooping and swooping and going high and low, and you're getting a great view, and it's really pumping up a lot of your adrenaline as you go on that ride with that hawk. Time.
Okay.
The
Hal.
only situation in which a hawk should have control of a camera is if you specifically want to track the flight patterns of a hawk. Hawks do not have an eye for cinematography. They're not going to go and listen to your plans. Like, we need a tight shot here, then we need a span out of the city of Boston. They're just going to fly to their fucking nest and maybe kill a snake. I don't know what hawks eat. Other birds, sometimes they eat other birds. That's fucked up. I don't want to watch that. No hawk has ever won the Oscar for cinematography. I'm saying that right? Cinematography. Cinematography. No hawk is ever going to direct a film. I feel like I'm really nailing this point. I see I'm doing amazing.
Time.
First off, I'm not that concerned about having those narrow, close-in tight shots and all that stuff. I'm looking at the hawk as providing me with a theatrical performance, much more like the theater of the absurd. I don't want connections. I want highs, lows, ins, out, total unpredictability. I want something more like Waiting for Godot, rather than something like, The Flies, where you know exactly what's going to be the end of the story.
Time.
I'm reading right here. Hawks and owls typically prey upon ground-dwelling mammals such as mice, voles, rats, squirrels, and rabbits. They're super predictable. There's no absurdism. They're just going to eat the same fucking thing over and over, and you're going to watch it over and over. And yeah, I guess it is like Waiting for Godot in that sucks. That play can kiss my ass. All right.
Time. All right. Very, very valid points all around. Please go to the link. Vote who you think won. Was it Wayne or was it Hal? In the meantime, I don't know about hawks. I know that some birds do direct. I think Cameron Crowe's my favorite.
That's a human. He just has a bird name.
Okay. What about Ethan Hawke?
Also a human.
Tony Hawk is basically a bird. I don't know if he produces films, but
He's
he
a
flies.
skateboarder. Why are you guys saying these guys
He
are birds?
flies.
Birdman.
I think all the hawks you've mentioned they're not carrying foul, they're carrying.
Like, somebody should mention Tobias the Hawk from Animorphs just because May isn't here.
Big Bird. He carried that team.
Do you think the Animorphs ever fucked each other in their animal form?
I hope so.
If
I
I've
think-
learned anything from Greek mythology, probably.
That was the first thing they did. They're all teenagers.
Yeah.
Like, let's see if we can fit a hawk and a donkey.
Like all the way in?
All the way in.
I never read the books. Is that what they were about?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure like
Is
they
it
did it, but like
bestiality
the
if
author
you
wasn't a good
ship-
enough author to, to actually write.
She
about
was
it.
honest.
I
Is it
think
bestiality if you're an animorph and you have sex with somebody in your animal form, or is it just bestiality because you can change into an animal, so you are technically an animal?
look, I don't think we're gonna figure this out tonight.
I don't know what the terminology is, but I'm pretty sure the answer is just that it's hot.
All right.
This
Alright.
topic
That
really is
being-
geniuses.
That
Last
being
question.
said, the winner of that debate is Hal Griffin. Hal's going to move on to the semifinals, and that is the end of round one. Before we move on to the next round, we have a fun little thing we like to call No Contest. These are questions that didn't quite make it into the show, but one of them will be asked as the final question. And again, you, the at-home viewer, gets to decide what that question might be. So if you follow that link, you're going to see these soon. pick whatever your favorite is. If it's funny, if it's something that you think might be interesting for our debaters to talk about. Uh, sh- that's yeah. I have two debaters really looking at me angry and confused because I'm flying right past them.
'Cause
So
you're
before
turning into a
before
bird.
we move on, like I said, I'm a real dum dum. Let's bring on the fourth and final debate of two of the best people. Uh, that's why our debaters, Emily Mame Ford and David Thomas.
Hello.
Hi.
Honored.
Sorry, friends. I'm staring right at you.
No worries. You know,
Okay.
just like I'm at home.
I
Mhm.
got so distracted by Animorphs. Emily, would you like to go first or second?
You know what? Since I was forgotten today, I'm just gonna go first. You know.
All right. Uh, I'm so sorry.
I'm totally
I
kidding. It's
I
fine.
feel so terrible.
Don't feel bad. It's fine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you pick the category. Do you want to go with man or woman?
Oh man. I mean, I am bi and I'm currently dating a guy, so I'm gonna go man, just to like fit the theme.
Okay. Sean Carter writes, "You were driving and your passenger is giving directions. Which are you more likely to say? No shit, Sherlock, or thanks a lot, Magellan?"
That's pretty easy. First of all, because I don't really know who Magellan is. Second of all, I actually am Watson. I don't know if you guys knew that. I know I kind of look like a gamer girl right now, but I'm actually Watson of Sherlock and Watson. Um, so like we go driving around all the time, and I'm always like, no shit, Sherlock, all the time because he's so dumb. I really carried the team there. Yeah, we just are always driving around, and we'll go, to maybe like a dumpster or something, and like try and figure out who's been eating the trash. That's what we do, me and Sure. And sometimes he'll pick up like a bag of dog poop and he'll be like, "Who is this? Who is eating this?" And I was like, "No, that's," and I'll be like, "No, that's shit, Sherlock." You know, gotta really put him in line because he's not that smart. I know this is about geniuses, but Sherlock, it's really Watson that brings up the team. That'll be all. Thanks.
Time.
Oh, now me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was thanks, Magellan. Yeah, I would always say that because every time I thank somebody, I always like to then name a famous explorer afterwards. Like even, if I'm out eating at a restaurant, especially now because that's super advisable, they bring me my food and I'm like, thanks, Henry the Navigator. That's really great. Every time I take an Uber somewhere, they drop me off at the place I'm going to eat, and I'd be like, "That was great, Vasco da Gama. I really appreciate it. That was so good." Amerigo Vespucci, and honestly, Magellan doesn't get enough credit. He had a really great death that I can talk about for a long time. But and also I'd never read the Sherlock books. I never read the Benedict Cumberbatch books, so I wouldn't mention Sherlock. So that's why I would say thanks, Magellan, and that's my reason.
Time.
There you go.
Yeah, well, me and Sherlock, what we do is we go to wherever was eating and we show up with our microscopes and whatever the hell we have. I don't know why we have microscopes. That's not really very but anyways, we show up and we look through who he actually has called out as a previous explorer. And if they're shitty people, Sherlock comes up and he's like, "No shit, Sherlock." Oh wait, that's what I say. But yeah, still to my point. That's what we do. Being me and my friend Sherlock. That's it.
All right.
When Emily shows up and she shoves that microscope in my face, I'm always like, man, you know what? I didn't even mention Columbus. There's so many better explorers to mention before him, like Zheng He and John Cabot. People way more deserving of praise. And personally, we shouldn't have to work on the day that Zheng He was born, if you ask me. And that's why uh, that's why I say thanks, Magellan.
Time. All right. Head to the link. Vote who you think gave the best argument there. Was it Emily? Was it David? While we wait for that, David, are all of those explorers? You could have made up names and I'd have no idea.
Oh yeah, they're 15 of the most notorious explorers during the age of exploration.
Oh, they're the
just-
15.
Yeah. I didn't even get to Pedro Alvarez Cabral, who really was a game changer.
I think the one thing we can all agree on from that is fuck Columbus.
Yeah.
We should have days for every other explorer except that one.
Yeah. I think that you really should have mentioned Dora. I'm pretty upset you didn't.
Ooh.
She
That
changed
is
the
my
game.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Swiper doesn't swipe anymore,
No, no, because Dora colonized his land in the name of Spain.
If you were an Animorph, why wouldn't you use Swiper?
Because
I'm
Swiper's
posing this to
literally
the room.
Swiper's
He's so
literally
sneaky. Good luck
condensed.
touching him.
No, but like Swiper just listens to people. They'll be like, "Swiper, don't do it," and he'll be like, "Oh man, like."
Yeah, that's a villain that respects boundaries.
Exactly.
All Swiper is better than Columbus.
Well,
Who respect boundaries. Votes are in. Another really close vote, and the winner of that debate is David Thomas. David's going to be moving on to the next round, and hey, here's something that is a brand new concept I haven't talked about before. We've got no contest questions. We've got questions that are going to be asked in the final round. One of them is, and it's up to you to pick your favorite from this group of questions. First one comes from Ken Green. He asks, "Are you smarter than a fifth grader or smarter than the average bear?" Sean Carter writes, "Hattie Wyatt Caraway was the first woman elected to the United States Senate. She lived in Arkansas. Would you rather be a senator or not live in Arkansas?" Steve Albert asks, "Better reason to invade Canada. Alex Trebek doesn't ask enough multiple choice questions, or the drummer from Rush won't write back to you." Finally, May Keith writes, "Who was the stupider genius? Aristotle, who believed that eels spontaneously burst into being without reproducing, or Sir Isaac Newton, who died from eating mercury?" One of these questions will be our final question tonight. That's up to you. Go to the link, vote whatever one you want to hear. And while we do that, let's go to round two and bring up our next debaters in a battle of the Tylers, Tyler Durniac and Tyler Tuttle.
Wow.
Durniac, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Second. All right, Tuttle. Every category is back on the board. I assume you remember them.
Let's not assume, because I hear that makes an ass out of you and me. Let's just say them again for the people in the audience who may not be geniuses.
It's hard. Not everybody can do it.
Not everyone. I'm
All
just trying to help.
You can pick from man, woman, person, camera, or TV.
Let's go back to the television well, please. Thank you.
Okay. Sean Carter asks, "Smartest show on TV, The Simpsons or Frasier?"
Well, Fraser Crane was on the radio for being so smart. So that's one. He had roommates really smart. That's two. He didn't have kids. That's a huge financial drain. He did have a kid. Never mind. He kept it down. He only had the one kid. That's great. Other smart things Fraser Crane did. I wish I remembered more of Frasier off the top of my head. Yeah, no, Frasier is the best. He didn't allow the dog on the furniture. He constantly gave his dad the business, and he wore loafers, and only smart people wear loafers. I've never seen a dumb man in loafers. Thank you.
Okay. Durniac.
Clearly, the smartest show is The Simpsons because every character is either a public or secret genius. Homer Simpson is a genius, except for the fact that, he has that crayon lodged in his brain. If you pull the crayon out, he's a perfect genius immediately. Barney Gumble, he's a genius, but he doesn't show it because he's so drunk all the time. That one time he went to NASA and didn't drink, he was a gymnast and smart. There's Lisa, you got Dr. Fink. Every character in The Simpsons is a genius. I challenge you to find one character that isn't a genius. Mo Sizlak, he's a genius. He knows how to dance to protect your fly girl. It's all, every character is important and a genius. Seymour Skinner is a genius too. I'm just going to keep naming characters and why they're genius. He's a genius because he's not wrong. The kids are.
Time.
See, the problem is they're all self-imposed flaws. The Frasier cast has real flaws that are imposed by nature. It's not, Frasier didn't stick crayons up his nose. He's just a narcissist because geniuses wrote him that know multiple syllable words, such as the word narcissist. His dad, really smart but gruff. He was shot but survived. It takes a lot of smart not die from a bullet. His brother knew
Time.
opera.
Man, Homer beat up George H.W. Bush, and if that's not the smartest decision I've ever heard, wait for some other smart decisions that I'm about to say from my infinite Simpsons knowledge. Mayor Quimby has to be a political genius. He's never been diselected unless it's by an even higher genius with Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob, of course, constantly escaping prison. You're talking about a narcissistic manipulator that he is the ultimate. And I'm talking about all these geniuses. I don't even think I've brought up Lisa yet. She's smart.
Time. All right. Very good debates. Frasier Crane and Sideshow Bob. Two geniuses.
Well,
All right. Up to you. Follow the link. Is it going to be Tyler or Tyler?
Oh, the ultimate question.
Tuttle or Durniac? And while we do that, I think another one of my favorite birds is Frasier Crane.
Okay, I felt like so Sideshow Bob is Frasier Crane. There's a crossover between those two films.
Yeah,
His
I felt
Cecil
when unaddressed, I
is
don't
David
have-
Hyde Pierce.
Yep.
Also, this whole time I thought Frasier was his last name, but that's not. His last name is Crane.
Yeah.
Well, because Seinfeld's his last name, and they just came out with Frasier, and that's his first name.
Well, I think Frasier.
Frasier was first.
Well, it's a spin-off from Cheers. Frasier was a character on Cheers for ever.
News
He's
Radio
married
was a middle name.
Yep.
I thought it was his
Those are
maiden
the-
name.
Those are the three shows named after famous men, famous geniuses. I think Frasier, Seinfeld, and News Radio.
I thought you meant Cheers.
Dr. Friends.
Cheers is actually the name of the bar.
It's actually Dr. America's Funniest Home Videos.
All right. Votes are in. Speaking of America's Funniest Home Videos, we polled America, and America has chosen Tyler Durniac to move on to the finals.
Ooh.
All right. To see who is going to face off against Tyler Durniac, we have Hal Griffin and David Thomas. Hal, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go for second.
Second. All right, David, man, woman, person, camera, TV.
Let's go with person.
Person. Sean Carter writes, what makes a person a genius? 160 and higher IQ or creative accomplishments?
I'm gonna go ahead and say creative accomplishments because I took an IQ test once in middle school, and I'm pretty sure it was single digits. I mean, double digits. Sorry, I don't even remember that because honestly, I look at Sean Carter. It's a creative accomplishment to create pick a side stupid, but I don't think that I don't think that he has an IQ of over 160. I'm just gonna go ahead and take that leap there. He's a smart guy. We have good conversations, but having a higher IQ, that's more about what math. You know, if you can do math good, then your IQ is higher. That just makes sense. If you're doing good at math, then your numbers just go up. But I wouldn't, you don't want to hang out with a mathematician. You wouldn't call them a genius, you would just call them unfun to be around. So I'm going to go ahead and say creative accomplishments.
Time.
Son of a bitch. Now I have to defend IQ tests. Fuck. All right, IQ tests. They're not racially or culturally biased. They're the purest form of information we have to how to figure out how smart somebody is. You can create the statue of David, you can write on Frasier or other creative accomplishments, but that means nothing if your IQ is 120 or lower. It's the only intelligence quotient that we have as of right now, I think. I don't read. I took an IQ test once in high school and I did well on it, and I haven't had to prove myself ever since. Makes it IQ tests make it okay to be mediocre. You don't have to prove yourself. When you take an IQ test and you do well, you're set for the rest of your life. 150, baby. I dropped out of college and I drank.
Time.
Truly the greatest creative accomplishment is being the first European to reach India by sea and opening the first sea route connecting Europe to Asia, which really makes Vasco da Gama the greatest genius I can think of. And really, they didn't even have numbers back then. You know what you don't need when you're on a boat is doing math. It's just like, hey, do we go east or west? Let me check my calculator. That's not how it works, okay? Which means Vasco da Gama is great, and creative accomplishments mean infinitely more than IQ tests.
Time.
I'm glad Vasco da Gama went to India where they invented numbers. Because, he just half-assed his way across the globe. No numbers. He had no information to go off of. He just lucked into it. Creative accomplishment, not a fucking genius. You know who is a genius? The Indian guys over there making math. Thank you, guys from India. The Indian people in general. You're cool. Thanks for inventing IQ tests.
Time. All right. Great points all around. So yeah, follow the link. Who do you think won that? Was it David? Was it Hal? And while you do that, I also took an IQ test recently. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch, which I think low. I think I need to be 160% that bitch in order to be a genius. That's what I have to contribute to that. Is anybody else taking an IQ test? Those are fun, right?
No.
No.
My brother, in middle school, the school made him take an IQ test because they thought he had like a severe learning disability. And he took it and he actually did. I think his IQ was something like 150 or something like that. Like he got a really, really high score. It just turns out he fucking hated being at school.
Classic.
I mean, geniuses hate school, right? They all drop out.
Yeah.
I think that's what I've
Happens to
learned.
nerds.
It makes sense
I
if
didn't
you're
even
that
go to
smart,
college.
and you're a genius.
I'm pretty smart. I didn't even have the chance to drop out. which makes me, real smart, I think.
Makes you
Duty school
genius.
dropout. Duty school dropout.
Okay, votes are in, and going on to the final round is Hal Griffin.
Woo.
Meaning that we are on to the final debate between Tyler Durniac and Hal Griffin. Before we get to what question we're going to debate tonight, Tyler, are you going to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Second. All right. Voted on by the viewers. Hal. May Keith writes, who was the stupider genius? Aristotle, who believed that eels spontaneously burst into being without reproducing, or Sir Isaac Newton, who died from eating mercury?
I'm gonna say Sir Isaac Newton, who died from drinking mercury. Understand why somebody would be confused by the existence of eels. Those things shouldn't exist. Like their jaws unhinged. They're just snakes that live in the water. Sometimes they come out on land to eat ducks. That happened. I saw that happen in Australia. I understand Aristotle's stance. Like they just moved into being. The devil created them and then strew them into the water to creep us out. I don't understand drinking mercury. It's silver, right? Like it's pure silver. That doesn't look appetizing. It looks like something you should not put in your body. Sir Isaac Newton should have had better common sense. Maybe a few too many apples hit him on the head. I don't know. But why would you drink the thermometer? You're not supposed to drink a thermometer. He should know that. He should know that. I cede my time.
First of all, that Isaac Newton drinking that thermometer is why we know that we shouldn't drink the thermometer. He made a final discovery. His final act on Earth was a sacrifice to the health of the world. And that's why he ate that mercury, because geniuses need to know, they need to learn things that other people haven't learned yet, even if that's sacrificing themselves. Aristotle should have known where eels come from. They come from when Apollo comes down to Earth and picks up a sack of mud, and he hands it to Neptune, and Neptune just kind of like wiggles it up together, like when you first get clay and Play-Doh and you don't know what to do with it, so you just kind of like roll it really quickly and it gets really thin, and then it just becomes an eel. That's how eels come into being. They don't just show up. The gods have to come down from Olympus and create them. It's a two-god process. You can't have one god do it and they don't just show up.
Yes, they do. If a god puts them there, that's literally it just showing up. You just disproved your own point within your argument. I know fire. Isaac Newton didn't discover that mercury was poisonous. We knew that. We would have figured that out without him drinking it. He didn't. He was just thirsty and he wanted to try something shiny. That's stupid. It's not genius. I don't know anything that Aristotle did besides.
Time.
Look, an important part of the scientific process is to be able to reproduce an experiment. Most experiments in labs and research are done to, reproduce and see if they can prove or disprove a previous experiment. You have to be able to reproduce the results. He was trying to reproduce and, force that, show us that the result was definite. And they didn't come out of nowhere. The eels had to be produced, and those gods came down to produce them.
All right. I am so happy that I'm not the one deciding this debate. This is the most important vote of the night. Who is going to win this whole show? Is it going to be Hal or is it going to be Tyler? Go to the link, vote. While we do that, we got a bunch of questions that weren't asked tonight, so let's run through a few. And Hal, do you have a question?
Was there an animorph that was an eel? Is there an eel animorph? Can we just talk about
All right, May Keith call in and answer. Was there an eel animorph?
Ilnomorph.
All right, let's have a few other debates. Let's bring up some of our earlier debaters. Let's have Jer and Dennis.
Yeah.
All right. Whoever goes first, I'm gonna let you pick the category. I'm gonna read through every question in the category. You pick the question you like more. Jer, do you want to go first or
I will go second.
second? All right, Dennis. Man, woman, person, camera, TV.
TV, please.
TV. All right. James Sheehan writes, is it called the remote or the clicker?
If you're from Boston, it's the clicker kid. So you're looking in between all the cushions, you're fighting with your wife, all of that. That's the clicker. Adam Sandler made a movie about it. It's a classic. Everybody who knows anything about comedy movies holds that up as their Citizen Kane. And therefore, it is the clicker and not the remote. I cede my time.
All right, Dennis was right in that. Jer,
I couldn't hear Dennis at all. What did he pick?
he picked the clicker.
Okay, well, it's called the remote because you do it remotely. Duh. It's like across the room, and then you do it. They're mostly rubber buttons now. They don't even click, or like they do voice activation, and that doesn't click either. So you got to. It's always not at the TV. The point is that you don't go to the TV because the TV's haunted.
Buried the lead there.
Okay. Dennis.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just say that again. I feel like you really buried the lead that most televisions aren't haunted. I've owned a lot of televisions in my life, over 3, and none of them have been haunted. I've had 2 poltergeists, never a TV geist. So, woo.
If they're not haunted, then how come they glow at night when you're watching TV in the dark? Listen to our podcast, The Wrestle Down.
Down.
Perfect. Just perfect, both of you. I can't pick a winner of that. Nobody can. Nobody should. Let's just all agree that it's neither of those. It's the magic buttons. Let's have another debate. Let's have Emily and Wayne.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Emily, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Second. All right. Wayne, man, woman, person, or camera?
Let's go with person.
Person. All right. And again, you can choose between 2 questions. You don't have to just jump in there if you don't have strong feelings about the first one.
Okay.
Let's see. Sarah Albanese writes, speaking of JFK, which we all were, who was better behind the camera, Oliver Stone or Abraham Zapruder? Or Sean Carter writes, how much do you regret contributing to the science that made nuclear warheads possible? I am full of remorse, or I have no regrets.
Well, seeing how in my current job I work on the nuke weapons world, I think we'll go with that choice of a question. And I'm here to tell you that I have no remorse for nuclear weapons. They are a threat, and that's all they are. No one is ever going to be a non-genius and let one of those things go off. And there are so many wonderful side benefits like electrical generation and nuclear medicine. I mean, of course, there were some crazy things that happened in the early development of nuclear weapons, like when Enrico Fermi put up an atomic pile that he went almost critical in downtown Chicago in Soldiers Field. But, it wouldn't have been a real big problem if they torched part of downtown Chicago anyway. We don't really need downtown Chicago. So definitely, you know, I'm all for all the work that we have done to make sure that the world is safe for us and our offspring.
Time.
Did you just say that you're for nukes or against? I'm really not sure.
Pro nuke.
Pro nuke. Oh wow, I was defending the other side. All right, well, someone please stop Wayne because I'm terrified. I think he's actually the reason for all the issues recently. He thought he was playing, a different game. I'm not even gonna go into it. Actually, that's just gone too bad. Woo. Um, yeah, I definitely don't think that nukes should exist. I'm just very surprised at everything you just said. I don't know how to process it. I'm so sorry. But nukes are bad, and also the reason they're bad is because you can potentially bomb as bad as I am right now. Yeah, that's it.
Actually, I think nukes are good because, as you've just demonstrated, you don't have to use them to create a great amount of shock and awe and so disrupt your opponent that they don't know what the hell they're going to do. I mean, how could you not want to? That sounds like it's all pros, and I can think of no cons to go with this thing.
Wayne is going nuclear. Wow. Yeah, I think that the biggest issue with like nukes is the nuclear family. We should really destroy it. Yeah. Fuck the nuclear family.
Wonderful. I am petrified. I think you both win and we all lose. I think is how that. I'm so afraid of you, Wayne. I love you, but
Yeah,
I'm so afraid of you.
Well, actually, the good news is I actually work on the defensive side, so
Is
trying to keep it from happening.
is your actual name Wayne Blaston?
No. It's Wayne Neutron.
That Vegas singer, right?
Do you have a son
That
named
was a
Jimmy?
great joke. I'm sorry.
Not only do I do science well, but I also have a great lounge act that I do out in Las Vegas.
I don't
See,
know
it
if
didn't
anything
work
you're
for you
saying
either.
is real right now. I'm very
Third person to do it will nail it. So unfortunately, David had to leave, but I still want to do another debate. I want Tyler Tuttle back up here again. Anybody want to do another debate?
Well, I do.
Tyler does.
I'll jump back
Let's
in.
do a Tyler rematch. Tyler on Tyler.
Yeah.
This time, Tyler Tuttle. Do you want to go first or second?
I want to go second this time.
Second. Okay, Durniac. You can go with man, woman, camera. I don't think we asked camera.
Let's do camera.
Camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean Carter writes, would you rather have taken two of the most expensive photographs in the world, like Cindy Sherman, and have your work described as distasteful, or have all your photos be worthless, but generally considered pleasant to look at?
I'm gonna go with.
Do you want to hear the other questions?
There's other questions. Yeah,
There's other questions.
Let's hear the other questions.
All right. Sean Carter, if you've heard of him, he asks, would you rather be known for creating a style of out-of-focused images or war zone photojournalism? And Sean Carter asks, worse working situation, photographing celebrities at the height of their fame or people in New York in the New York BDSM underground scene in the 1970s? Which of these questions do you want?
I'm gonna go with the first one. Was the worthless pictures versus the.
Yep, expensive. Would you rather have? I'll just ask it again. Would you
Yeah.
rather have? It's a long question. Sean writes so many questions. Would you rather have taken two of the most expensive photographs in the world, like Cindy Sherman, and have your work described as distasteful, or have all your photos be worthless but generally considered pleasant to look at?
I'm gonna go with having all my photos being worthless but pleasant to look at. Um, because right now I've only got half of that equation, and I would really like the pleasant to look at part. My photos right now are just worthless, and I would prefer that when looking at them, people would just feel good about them. I want I want pictures that look good and make people happy. I don't want money. I don't need money. My daddy's rich. I don't need picture money. Um, I just want pictures that look nice. I just want photos to look good. I want people to smile when they see them, to reminisce and be like, oh, you remember those days? Remember when people would yell at us to move to the other side of a restaurant? Remember going and eating bar pizza in Quincy? I want pictures of that. It gives you the warm fuzzy feelings and are just worth $0.
Time.
I want three things in life. I want cash money, baby. I want to alienate my family so they don't any of my cash money, baby. And I want to repel the public so I don't have any of those goddamn fans at my doorstep. So I want my shit as gross as possible. All right. I want maggots doing weird maggot sex stuff on top of like a church. Maybe that's offensive to people, but someone will buy it. Like maggot sex on a church. Yeah. And no one's going to like come to my house to take pictures of me because I did that, but I will be rich. So I get money, I get fame, I don't have to deal with the public, and I don't have to give my money to family after I die. I can just
Time.
bury it.
Why you gotta kink shame these maggots? These maggots seem to be having a great time, and you're just judging them. There, you said what weird maggot stuff? It's just regular maggot stuff. Some maggots have different likes and dislikes, and who are you to judge them? And I want people to look at my pictures of maggots having sex and be like, oh, they look like they're having a great time. They're not gonna pay money for it, but they're just gonna feel kind of nice about it. It's gonna be on
Time.
yeah.
I am putting out a Craigslist ad for maggots that self-identify as doing weird stuff. All right. It's not me that says it, it's them. I want a maggot centipede. It's like a human centipede, except they're maggots. And I'm going to make it a infinity sign. And I'm going to take a picture. And again, it's going to be on a church because that will get me the dinero. Thank you.
Amazing debate, both of you. There's no way to choose a winner in that. Yeah, that was wonderful. And votes are in for the final. The winner tonight is Hal Griffin. Congratulations, Hal.
Thanks for telling me I was running really late, Tyler.
I'm no longer happy that I warned you.
Yeah. You should have just let me rot. Thank you all. This is honestly comparable to getting a 22/20 on my SATs. This is a good feeling. Now I peaked. Okay.
Well, congratulations, Hal. And thank you, everybody. All the comics who joined us tonight. You're all funny. I love you all. Thank you for all of you watching wherever you're watching. You're great. We do this show every Friday night at 7:30 until Wayne punches in the codes, I guess. And thank you, Sean Carter, for letting me try pretending to be a genius. Thank you for letting me host the show. This has been a fun night. Everybody, thanks for watching. I'm back next week. Bye.
Pick a side, pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid.